under 40, you're going to recognize that as one of the most inspirational themes of all time. That's Raiders of the Lost Ark by John Williams. And what we're going to talk about right now is the Lost Ark of stride piano style. I want to show you something. This is a picture taken recently when I was playing at Fritzl's Jazz Pub in New Orleans by some students from Dartmouth College. Take a look at the left hand there. Okay, you see the blur? That blur is caused by the left hand creating an arc from a low note to the middle range of the keyboard in between beat 1 and beat 2 and back again. And in order to really play good bouncing solid stride piano, it's advisable to create that arc within your own playing. Now I'll show you how that works. If you're playing flat, let's say you played that in like a kind of a rough and tumble ragtime style. Okay, you've got your left hand playing an octave and a chord, octave and a chord, and you notice how the hand is fairly flat against the keys like that. Well, you can't really accomplish that if you're using stride. If you're going to play a 10th and then a low note, you've got to create an arc. You've got to take your low note here and make an arc up to the middle chord, back down to the low note, so that you get the right bounce, you get the right, the low note of the stride piano is meant to simulate the sound of a bass fiddle, which has a big booming sound in the bass, in creating the 2-beat sound that you get with stride. And by 2-beat I mean as opposed to 4-beat. Now in 4-beat you don't need an arc, but in 2-beat, if you have this kind of a sound, there's another advantage to doing that too. Some of the people that I have taught in the past have come to me and said that what I would like to do is to be able to play ragtime and stride piano and boogie woogie without getting a backache. I had one student who is a CEO of a company out in California that loved ragtime piano, but he said, I can't play any longer than 15 minutes without getting a backache. And I said, all right, play something for me. So he went. Now look at this. The hands are like claws, and the arm is tight all the way up to the shoulder. No wonder he got a backache. So I told him what you have to do is relax. This is what I tell a lot of people that come into the club, for example, and say, well, you know, how can you play that style hour after hour after hour and not get tired? I say, well, step one, make sure that you're seated a little bit higher on the piano bench and that you're not reaching up to the keys, which is instant carpal tunnel. If you're sitting too low and you reach up to the keys, you want to sit a little high and let gravity help you out. Let gravity help lower your hands to the keyboard. The other important element in playing this type of piano is to be completely relaxed. You want your hands to be relaxed. Your fingers are doing the finger work. You want your hands to be relaxed, your wrists to be relaxed, and your entire arm to be relaxed, almost like that. You're sitting there playing and you can play all night long if you have a relaxed wrist and forearm, and even all the way up to the shoulders, and you're sitting a little bit high so that you can just like I said, let gravity take your hands down to the keys. And it's especially important in stride piano, boogie-woogie piano, any type of jazz and popular piano playing that has a repetitive action that's got to be able to keep a beat. Not just being repetitive, but being able to lay down a beat and hopefully swing. Somebody said one time, I did a performance of Meade Lux Lewis's Honky Tonk Train, and they said, well, how can you keep that bass going? How can you keep that bass going 14, 15, 20 choruses without tightening up your left hand? It's the loose wrist like this, and this is kind of the equivalent of the stride arc to boogie woogie playing, is to keep that loose wrist. And as long as your left hand remains loose and you keep that repeated figure going, you're going to be okay. But you tighten up that wrist and you tighten up that arm and you lower what should be an arc to just flat-handed playing, you're going to be retiring that piece in a very short time.